It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Another episode of Wisdom Wednesdays. The book of Proverbs is all about wisdom. Listen to the prologue of the book of Proverbs. That is Proverbs 1 through 7. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Now, Proverbs tells us how to get wisdom. It tells us to fear Yahweh as the beginning of wisdom. If you missed it, go back and watch episode 2. It tells us to go to our parents as a source of wisdom. If you missed that one, go back now and watch episode 3. But this week, we're going to talk about a third source of wisdom, God's Word. Look at Proverbs 2:1 through 6. My son, if you receive my words and treasure up my commandments with you, making your ear attentive to wisdom and inclining your heart to understanding, yes, if you call out for insight and raise your voice for understanding, if you seek it like silver and search for it as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of Yahweh and find the knowledge of God. For Yahweh gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. God's Word is a primary source of wisdom, and we're supposed to seek wisdom like hidden treasure. In the movie National Treasure, the Gates family is a family of treasure hunters, and they believe that the forefathers of the United States buried a treasure somewhere in the country and left clues scattered as to how to find it. Each generation of the Gates family gave everything they had to find this treasure. They gave up so much money. They gave up so much of their time. They gave their reputation. People were constantly making fun of them. People were constantly writing them off as kooks. They gave their entire lives to find this treasure. And then they gave most of it away to museums. But they kept 1% of the treasure as a finder's fee. And that 1% was enough to make them super rich. This kind of all-in seeking is the kind of seeking you need to do for wisdom. One of my favorite stories is Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. It's a story about a boy named Jim Hawkins, and Jim lives a standard life working at the Admiral Benbow Inn, owned by his father and mother. Then, one day, a strange man named Billy Bones stays a while in the inn, and other strange men began to come and quarrel with Billy Bones. One's name was Black Dog, and one named Blind Pew. Now, apparently, Billy Bones had a treasure map that the Captain Flint's crew wanted. Now, years earlier, Captain Flint took a crew of 15 men ashore on a mysterious island, and they buried that treasure worth millions. And after they buried the treasure, Captain Flint killed all of them. And that's where the song comes from, 15 men on a dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum. Captain Flint was the only one who knew where the treasure was buried. He kept the map for himself. Then Captain Flint mysteriously died. Somehow, Billy Bones ended up with the map. The crew was furious. They gave Billy Bones the notorious black spot. This was a pirate's death sentence. But before the pirates could torture Billy Bones for the map, he died of a stroke. But young Jim Hawkins ended up with the treasure map. With the help of Squire Trelawney, Captain Smollett, and Dr. Livesey, a crew was hired, a ship was boarded, and they set sail for Treasure Island. However, without knowing it, most of the crew that they had hired consisted of bloodthirsty pirates. Many of them were Captain Flint's original crew. The good guys were sorely outnumbered. There was a fierce face-off battle when they arrived at Treasure Island. Most of the pirates and some of the good guys were killed. Of all the crew that originally boarded the ship, only 5 returned. Dozens of men died. They faced starvation, thirst, blood, war, and betrayal, all for a treasure. They searched and searched until they found it. And the intensity with which these men searched for hidden treasure is the intensity with which you and I should search for wisdom. Now, the only kind of wisdom is deliberate wisdom. No one becomes athletic by sitting on a bed and eating potato chips all day. No one becomes smarter by vegetating all day and doing nothing. If someone wants to get stronger, they got to work at it. If someone wants to get smarter, they got to study. And if someone wants to be wise, they have to go after it like it was hidden treasure. Since this is the source of wisdom, we have to read it and study it and memorize it. Can I challenge you to read God's Word every day for at least 10 minutes? 10 minutes every single day. Now, we don't have to leave home and sail halfway around the world and risk our lives, because we have it right here. This is where the treasure map leads us. This is where we dig. So, let's dig. When I was 15, maybe 16 years old, I was challenged to read God's Word every single day for at least 10 minutes. And I'm giving you that same challenge. Will you take the Bible Time 10 challenge? Start today. Start in the book of Proverbs. I'll see you guys next time for another Wisdom Wednesday.